Welcome to Biztech's C-Suite Conversation Show. Today we have as our guest Peter Moore. He's the Senior Vice President and Head of Enterprise Cloud APJ for SAP. Now, SAP is a multinational software corporation founded in 1972 and is one of the world's leading provider of enterprise resource planning software. To give us an idea of scale, as of September 30th, 2023, SAP had 106,495 employees worldwide, representing 157 nationalities. Now, to tell us more, welcome to the show, Peter.
Thank you, Brian. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. And thanks for the great introduction. It's an opportunity. I thought I'd spend some time with you today as part of the Biztech Asia interview to share a bit of a perspective on SAP and some of the newer areas that we're focusing a lot of our investment and a lot of our innovation as part of my role in the organization as the head of Enterprise Cloud.
Okay, so tell us then, in terms of enterprise cloud, what does this encompass, and what is your footprint like?
So yeah, good question. So enterprise cloud, it encompasses a number of areas within SAP. So SAP, historically, we founded our business with enterprise resource planning, which was integrated end-to-end business application software. And what we, in this past 3 quarters of 2023, we combined that ERP business, the S/4HANA business, which is our ERP, combined it with our platform business, our business technology platform, together with our digital supply chain and our customer experience, and then finally our business process intelligence and business process improvement lines of business into one go-to-market, combined go-to-market. So what it means for our customers is we can have an elevated conversation more about transformation and about automation and about now new areas like artificial intelligence and analytics, but having a core with innovation around the core and being able to now bring that conversation of more of a transformation story to our customers, more than just a lift and shift to cloud. That's the way many organizations considered transformation in years past, but now everyone's looking at transformation and what we can do now, leveraging technology more effectively.
And that's interesting, Peter, because as you were mentioning that, what went through my mind is, hey, this is so much better for me as a customer, because if I'm a CIO across a conglomerate, for example, in Indonesia, in Malaysia, or in the Philippines, I have different salespeople coming to me, maybe offering different solutions from the same company. And now then I can sit down and have an elevated conversation around, all right, maybe I don't move those operations first fully into the cloud. Maybe that's hybrid cloud for now. This sort of company, I can actually move fully into the cloud. Here I make some experiments.
Brian, you're absolutely right. I think in the Asia Pacific Japan region, where I'm fortunate enough to be based here in Singapore, we work a lot with the conglomerates, with the public sector, and also the small and medium enterprise. And there is a common request from all of these organizations. They want to understand the end-to-end story, and SAP delivers this better than anyone else. We've got the most comprehensive and broad, but also deep portfolio that we can have the conversation with the CDO, the CTO, the CIO, but also the board, the CEO and COO, CFO level. So we're moving from beyond just being a technology company, but now more and more business transformation. And S/4HANA or RISE, which is our cloud ERP motion, is all about business transformation as a service. And that's really delivered through that combination of those 5 lines of business with SAP. But not only conglomerates, it's small to medium enterprise, it's all scale, all size of our market segments, but we're able to bring a combination of those elements. And as you say, customers have different IT maturity or different roadmap and are ready to maybe not necessarily move completely to cloud, but has a hybrid model, or maybe they want to transform and automate a business process or a line of business area within the business, and then be ready to migrate to cloud when they're ready to move. So it allows us to have these multifaceted conversations that perhaps weren't possible in the past when we were operating as separate individual lines of business. And as you mentioned, meeting with different people and sometimes a little complex. Now we're bringing a more combined holistic story to our customers.
Now, Peter, could you share some insights? Because a lot of companies embarked because they were forced to on digital transformation because of COVID. But that's been ingrained a lot in the DNA of companies as more and more companies have realized it's a source of competitive advantage. Could you share some insights into how SAP has helped some of your customers then in this digital transformation journey?
Absolutely. I think the pandemic it caught everyone by surprise, but it also forced new business models for our customers. We have a great example, or many great examples in APJ, but one that comes to mind is an organization called Zulig Pharmaceuticals based here in Southeast Asia,
I
ASEAN.
used to work for the Zulik Group before in the
Oh, okay.
90s.
Oh,
Yes.
fantastic. So they really pivoted the business very quickly. They had to, because they were distributing life-saving drugs during the pandemic. And so they needed to distribute from not only their traditional warehouses and distribution facilities, but also create pop-ups. And so by applying our automation, our process automation technology, which is part of our business technology platform, they were able to automate many of their transactions so they could continue to focus on the BAU, but also respond and react to the changing demands of this new pandemic, that was introduced as part of this pandemic. So we saw operational efficiencies of a backlog of 10,000 transactions being cleared because we could apply automation to that RPA, or process automation. We saw sales order processing accelerated. We saw cost savings. We saw, but one of the biggest benefits and outcomes that our customer is openly telling at events at SAP, they're a public reference for us, is it wasn't so much about productivity. It was actually also as much about accuracy, because it took a lot of that repetitive tasks that were being, performed by humans, and automating a lot of that, making it more efficient so people could focus on the right value add tasks within the organization. So this was a very successful story of automation and process automation, and about 180 automated processes are now running within that organization still today as part of the pandemic. But now that it creates a new area of opportunity for all of our customers to start to consider.
And Peter, having worked from the conglomerate as a whole in one of their IT units, one of the things I can say is the following. In a business like that, which is a distribution business where you represent principals, margins are slim. So all this automation that you are able to do, and I'm just thinking as you were explaining it, into smaller points of sale, all then, and reduce errors, reduce then inventory holdings, all translates to business transformation and then therefore better outcomes in the bottom line.
Correct, absolutely. I think we operate in a region which is considered to be one of the fastest growing emerging markets regions. And so we have a lot of organizations where, as you say, Brian, the margins are small. We're talking 1% in some of these distribution organizations. And they actually told us, as part of our brief, they said, we've optimized our business processes, and we have people that we want to keep. We don't want to, it's not about reducing headcount for us. It's about making our people more efficient, more effective, delivering a better outcome for our customers. In this case, our end users, and also the pharmaceutical customers and distributors down the supply chain. But for them, it wasn't just about cost reduction and headcount reduction. Absolutely. In fact, the opposite. It was about helping those people to be more efficient, more effective, and have a better job satisfaction through leveraging technology, which is now more and more available to all segments of our customer base, including the small to medium enterprise as well.
Now, perhaps, Peter, one of the things that CIOs often think about now is really time to implement. Now, that's always been a concern, but with increased sophistication now in terms of reduced time to market for a lot of things, basically the board wants everything yesterday. How has SAP helped to reduce the time to implement SAP products, which have traditionally not been the quickest?
Yeah, it's a very common request from board level now, as they start to look at what's my return on investment, but also what's my not ROI, but rate of innovation. Right. So return on investment, but now there's a new concept that we're helping our customers to understand. What's my rate of innovation? How soon can I get my innovation deployed in a productive environment? So in other words, can I prototype faster than before? Can I leverage cloud, the power of cloud, to start to build rapid prototypes? And a great example is Apple using SAP's Build portfolio, who publicly have announced that 40% development savings have been introduced as part of using SAP's Build portfolio. So it's about low code, no code, rapid application development, building prototypes in weeks, not months, not years, but building and showing the value in sprints and iterative value increments rather than waiting till it's complete, because often the requirements can vary, the business demands may change. And so the question of today may not be the same question tomorrow. So we need to be able to develop and deploy rapidly. That's really the power of cloud. And SAP has a maniacal focus now on helping our customers leverage the power of cloud and compute. And when we're talking about artificial intelligence, that's the next generation of leveraging the cloud capability that's facilitated through this access to innovation and value that they perhaps couldn't have achieved previously in an on-premise world.
Okay, Peter, I'm going to now zoom in on what you've just said. Artificial intelligence. Whether you're a small SME business owner or whether you're a Fortune 500 company, everyone has got projects running in terms of AI or trying to find out what you can do as an organization to leverage on AI. Give us a sense of, through your lens in APJ, what are the challenges and opportunities that SAP is first facing with AI adoption, first among large organizations, and then also let's not leave out the SMEs, because that's a different set of challenges.
Yeah, it's a great question, and it's an amazing opportunity for us. I think there's organizations that are looking at this with caution and concern to make sure that they are able to follow guardrails or ethical or responsible approach to when it comes to AI. Different industries have different levels of concern, and also those that embrace this and use it to their advantage, I think are going to be the ones that become the fast mover advantage. We're seeing a lot of industries exploring AI. We're seeing a lot of our customers asking, what's SAP's point of view when it comes to artificial intelligence? And it's not only artificial intelligence, but it's generative artificial intelligence. And we treat those as not identical, but there's overlap. We've had artificial intelligence in our portfolio for a number of years now. We have about 24,000 customers that have access to our what we call our AI scenarios. There's about 300 of those. Up until Q1 this year, we had about 300 AI scenarios, which we're a little bit guilty. We needed our customers to learn more about what was available in their existing landscape already. And we had some early adopters. I used the Zulig example a minute ago. But we also, this year, with the emergence of generative AI, and now that becoming more mainstream, organizations are looking for, everyone knows about, GPT and how to generate, a textual outcome, or maybe generate an image, or now becoming more and more, video and music. But the challenge for a lot of our customers is, how do I use this amazing technology and compute power in a business context? And so this is really where SAP is very passionate about the concept of AI for business. When we talk to customers about AI for business, we break it into three key areas that SAP believe we have a unique value proposition: relevant, reliable, and responsible AI. When I say relevant means we understand the business process that created the data that resides within our core applications. It could be within our S/4HANA Cloud ERP application. It could be within our SuccessFactors human capital management. It could be within our procurement. It could be in our customer experience platform. So this data is created using business process, which SAP understands best. We've had 51 plus years of business process experience built into our core applications. When we talk about reliable, we're talking about the data itself. So business process, but also combining that with the data, knowing that data can be trusted. Okay, that data was generated using a business process, but is also contextual. So a business process that generated a sales order, for example, or a goods receipt document, which is a data object within SAP. We want to know that if we generate something from that data, we can trust the outcome. And that's where the responsible, the third R comes into play. So relevant, reliable, responsible. We believe the responsible is probably almost the most important out of the three R's, because our customers, no matter what industry, need to be able to trust the outcome. If we're generating a work order or an instruction, or it could be a communication to either an internal stakeholder or an external customer or supplier, we need to know that that can be trusted. And that's where the ethical AI piece comes in. So we talk a lot about responsible AI not being a buzzword for us. We've been working since 2018 in this area. We have an AI ethics advisory panel, a global panel, which also we publish white papers, which are available online, publicly available, which really shows our commitment to this concept of responsible and ethical AI. So we're trying to bring it to what was considered in the past very horizon future technology. Now it's available and it can be brought into a business context for our customers here in APJ. And we have about 130 use cases that we're working on at the moment. We're building prototypes for customers in a number of different areas, and I'm always keen to explore more with our customers that are listening today.
Now, Peter, where have you seen pushback from customers?
We had an interesting meeting a week ago, and a customer of ours said, we want to give instructions to our downstream partners. And what happens if the instruction is incorrect? Who's liable for that? And so that was a very good question, because there is still this hesitation around the word trust when it comes to AI. And so the pushback, I would say it's not so necessarily pushback. I think there's still a maturity in the market, and it'll only be improved by seeing more and more of these use cases coming to life, and us demonstrating that with the 3 R's that I mentioned before, we can generate outcomes that can be relied on, right? Reliable, relevant, responsible. So for me, I think the biggest pushback we've seen is a bit of hesitation in terms of trust. And a lot of organizations are kind of testing the water with AI and testing scenarios and use cases which are considered to be low risk, or more around generating a resume or generating an email response to an inbound ticket, for example. So that's considered to be safe AI for a lot of our customers. But now we're moving more and more into helping our customers understand we can automate a business process, but also generate a next step or generate an outcome that helps drive better productivity, better efficiency, optimizing that process even further.
So, Peter, here's the interesting thing. A lot of SMEs around the Asia Pacific region seem to think that this is, besides the simple generative stuff, like as you mentioned, or generating an email to automated response and so forth. Beyond that, well, that's only for big companies. But the reality is, AI opens up a lot of opportunities for smaller SMEs to really do stuff they couldn't do before, and to do stuff which they don't need to hire new people. Could you give us perhaps some insights into that? Because I think that's the opportunity that's missing in a lot of people's minds.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the opportunity that we all are starting to realize is probably one of the biggest opportunities that's created from this new AI evolution, you could say, is the ability to help humans to scale. It's not about replacing humans. Let's be clear on that. I'm a strong, firm believer that AI should never be about replacing people. People are our value. They're our resource within our organization. More about how do we make our people more efficient, more productive, more effective. I use the example with some customers of a number of decades ago, we were given calculators to use. And if I remember my days of university, we were told you can bring a calculator into your exam. And so it didn't allow me to cheat the system. It allowed me to be more accurate, more efficient, more productive. And really, I see that as what AI is for a lot of to use in simple terms, to help our people to scale and for our people to be more accurate and to cover a lot of the monotonous, low-value tasks or activities within an organization, but allow us to now focus on generating higher value for our customers, a better supplier engagement, managing that resilient supply chain that we need to manage. How do we deliver a better warehouse management? And if we're talking about sustainability, how do we drive an optimized supply chain or a better supplier footprint management? So it's really about freeing up capacity and freeing up bandwidth so that we can now deliver higher value outcomes internally, externally, to our upstream or downstream. And that's really the opportunity for all of us. And I think if we look at it that way and don't see it as a threat to human and replacing humans, I think there's a massive opportunity for us to really take advantage of it.
Now, looking ahead with the end of 2023, what's ahead for SAP in 2024?
We have announced a number of, I would say, exciting announcements in the area of AI. If we focus just for a minute, continue to focus on AI for a minute here. We announced Joule about 2 months ago now. This is our SAP's co-pilot for our applications. So This is we have a roadmap. We're building Joule into our HXM platform, our ERP S4HANA platform. We're also using Joule to now generate code. So the developers of the past, where we had what we call pro code, professional coders, a lot of that repetitive code generation can now be automated using Gen AI. So we have a large customer base that has on-premise applications from SAP where they did extensions using what we call pro code, professional code extensions to their core. And what it introduced to our customers was a bit of a barrier to upgrade, because they were kind of technical debt held them back to upgrade. It became quite a process to modernize that code. Now we can use Gen AI to do a lot of that. So it's really exciting for us and our partner ecosystem, because we can now accelerate our customers' moves to cloud and also ensure that they get a more governed approach, a more agile approach to help them to unlock the value much quicker, and then have a roadmap for future innovation. So AI is big for us in 2024. We're investing more and more, and we'll have more announcements. Joule and a roadmap for Joule, which flows right through till the end of next year and beyond. We're also looking at our business technology platform. We have an AI foundation, which we've announced just recently in Bangalore at TechEd last month. And so we allow our customers to not only use language models from the common names that you would know, but also we're building our own. So our own large language models, SAP is building those now so that we have our own contextual LLMs, but we can also select the right tool for the job. We might decide that ChatGPT or GPT-4 or GPT-3 or Llama might be another option. So this AI foundation that's part of our technology platform allows our customers the power of choice. And so then they can decide which model works best for their industry or for their use case or for the specific case study they're working on.
Peter, it's been a fascinating conversation. I've really learned a lot. But before we leave, any final thoughts you'd like to leave the audience with?
I think I would like everyone to think that AI FOMO is acceptable, fear of missing out. I think it's a term I've heard a few times, AI FOMO. Work with SAP. Let us show you the low-hanging fruit. We're building these for many customers globally, and I think it's not as hard as people think to identify the first use case. We can brainstorm. We've got methodologies and frameworks we're now bringing to our customers. I heard a phrase the other day that the AI you use today will be the worst AI you ever use, meaning it's just continuing to improve. It's just the evolution and the improvement we're seeing daily in this area is just phenomenal, like something we've never seen before. So allow us to work with our customers to co-innovate, to ideate use cases. Chances are we've already started doing this with other organizations globally with the breadth and reach that we have at SAP. Challenge us. We're more than happy to work with you together with our customers, whether they're ready for cloud ERP yet. We can still build these innovations and prototypes together, but ideally lay a foundation for cloud ERP and for cloud innovation in the future as well.
Now, Peter, thank you very much for taking your time to be on the show.
My pleasure, Brian. Anytime. Hopefully this was valuable and look forward to our next conversation.
Now, we've been speaking to Peter Moore. He's the Senior Vice President and Head of Enterprise Cloud for APJ at SAP. I'm Brian Fernandez, and you've been watching and listening to Biztech's C-Suite Conversation Show. This is Catch the Conversation and much more on www.biztech.asia, as well as our syndication partners, TV stations, radio stations, and websites. Thanks a lot for tuning in.